Hey guys, it's Anna. Welcome to my channel. Today I have a new haul. Oh shit. Didn't mean to hit you there. Collection of fragrances that have been so kindly sent over to me. I like to do these kind of roundup videos, give you my thoughts, just to chat about what's new, what I ended up loving, some I did not. I really want to start with this one, Wave Child from Room 1015. This perfume has been like the talk of the summer, and I can see why, because personally, this is so freaking fun. It is good. One of my favorite candies are those dang Sour Patch Kids watermelon candies. And this smells just like them. So dang good. This is a watermelon perfume through and through. It has this beautiful, addictive, candied sweetness, but it doesn't go too candied or like sugar overload. It still retains this fresh quality. And then you get a bunch of this creamy, fresh coconut, which of course just adds to this whole fun, delightful summery vibe. It's mouth-watering, scrumptious, and just a really easy perfume to layer with as well, because this is not a complex note profile. It's simple, but it delivers. I absolutely love it. Next up we have Espresso Please from Gleam London. It's not my personal style, but I do think it's a good fragrance. It smells like you're in need of some espresso, naturally. So you go over to your machine and you grab a chunk of dark chocolate and you put that at the bottom of your cup, pop that baby under the machine, and then your espresso is gonna go on top of that dark chocolate, melt into it. Those are the two notes that I get the most, but there's also a little bit of tonka bean to give it a light sweetness. This is not a sugary perfume by any means. It more so retains, you know, the bittersweet character of dark chocolate, and then of course you have like the earthiness of coffee beans, and then there's a touch of hazelnut on the side. So if you enjoy fragrances like Acro Awake, then I think this would be your cup of tea or coffee. This one is definitely more so my vibe. Vanilla Crush, also from Gleam London. However, this is very similar to fragrances like Vanille Charnel, Bianco Latte. So if you already own a vanilla caramel musk perfume in that category, you don't need it. This has got a pear blossom in the opening, so that would be the most notable difference. So it starts out a bit fresher in comparison to something like Bianco Latte without it being categorized as a fresh perfume. But the pear blossom doesn't last throughout the life of the fragrance, so it dries down to a very sweet, caramelized, creamy, powdery vanilla, fluffy musk scent. Very gourmand, very frosting, cake-like. It's a lovely perfume, delicious, but I do personally prefer Bianco Latte, and also there are like 15 fragrances in this category. So a bomb cherry fragrance that most of you probably already know about, Gritty Duchessa. I loved this right away. I smelled it a long time ago, but just didn't bring it into my collection because you don't need a bunch of cherry perfumes. You just don't, because a lot of them smell very similar, and I just don't need 20 different versions with slight tweaks. So up until this point, the cherry focused perfume in my collection has been the Seven Virtues Cherry Ambition, but now that we have Duchessa, Cherry Ambition has been booted. Still a great perfume that I recommend. I'm just not in the business of holding on to everything. I really try to avoid redundancy within my collection, and I do prefer Duchessa. This is excellently done. It's so smooth. It has a beautiful, deep richness that feels flirty, sensual, but sophisticated. I don't smell anything medicinal about this cherry. I get mainly black cherry, saffron, and almond. There's brown sugar, giving it this refined sweetness. It's velvety, indulgent. It's got this intoxicating character to it for me. And I feel like the iris in here really amps up the elegant factor. It's gorgeous. Another one from Gritty, Rialto. This has qualities that remind me a bit of Oud for Greatness. They share musk, oud, and saffron, but it's not as rich, heavy, or deep. And I would describe Oud for Greatness to be more masculine leaning in comparison. And I do prefer Oud for Greatness. It's a masterpiece, incredibly luxe. It's just perfect for me. But this is good. It has a mango in the mix that comes off like a green mango to me. It has that touch of an unripe smell to it. I smell a bit of bergamot and rose in the background. I like this fragrance, but it's not quite a love for me. The oud naturally has this dark, earthy character to it, but it smells like it's been sitting wet for a long time and then eventually smoked. I had tested a sample of this a while back and just loved it. But now having the bottle, it's not quite hitting for me the same way. Personally, I think a better concoction would be layering Oud for Greatness with God of Fire. From new notes, we have Bonbons à la Violette. This is a like for me, and definitely so far my favorite from the brand. To give you ballpark idea of what this smells like, it's like a little bit of Baccarat Rouge 540, a little bit of Giardini di Toscana Celeste, kind of those vibes going on, but it's not as airy, not as sweet as Baccarat Rouge 540. It's not creamy, not nearly as vanilla forward as Celeste, and also doesn't have raspberry. This smells of sugared violets with a prominent moss and cedar. A little bit of orange in there as well. So it's a lot more earthy than what you might expect from the name. I loved the opening. Like, I really enjoy the introduction of these earthy elements with the sugared violet, but it dries down quite mossy and really quiets down on the airy sugared violet, and then just falls a little flat for me. So the opening is lovely. Like, first impression, I was like, yes, this is gonna be staying, but then it kind of just loses its sparkle for me, and there's not so much going on with it. I then have two fragrances from Renoir Parfums. I'll start with Vanille Diabolique. This is one of the best Coca-Cola scents I've smelled, and that note smells like the real sugar Mexican Coke that you get in the glass bottles. It's absolutely mouth-watering, and I do smell it the most in the opening. This has got a big dose of vanilla. It's the most prominent note. It's got this very likable, smooth rum, nothing too heavy or overpowering, and the spices are lovely. Often when I smell these profiles, like there's a couple Coca-Cola scents on the market, the perfumers go heavy on the spice, namely a lot of cinnamon. There's cinnamon, cardamom, and pink pepper in here, but the balance is lovely. It complements everything really nicely. It doesn't take away from the vanilla in any way. Instead, the spices feel more supporting, like a nice, soft, cozy spice. So if other cola scents have been too heavy in the spice department for your liking, I would check out Vanille Diabolique. There's a fresh, juicy orange and a warm, smooth sandalwood and amber in the base. There is chocolate listed in here. Some people get that. I personally don't smell any chocolate. It's got a slight powderiness to it, and I think it's just perfect for this upcoming fall season. It's really good. And then we have Mojito Erotique. This is definitely in the family of Creed, Virgin Island Water, Simone Andreoli, Malibu, Party in the Bay. So if you already own one of those fragrances, you don't need this. I liked those fragrances, but I didn't love them because they're lime bombs to me, and I was wanting more coconut to show up. Like, I was wanting more to it, other notes to pop out more, and there's a little bit more going on in this one. So I definitely prefer this one out of the three. This smells like a sweetened coconut mojito. So if you've tried those other two fragrances and you were hoping for a more prominent coconut, try this. To my nose, this is a very even blend between the white rum, mint, lemon, lime, coconut. You have some sugar and vanilla bringing in a soft sweetness. It has a nice, fresh, tropical feel to it. Perfect for summer. It's got a bit of a musky undertone as well. I'm really excited about this because I've been on the hunt for an alternative to those previously mentioned fragrances. For the gourmand lovers, I've got one for you. Rise and Shine from Dyad. This smells like coffee cake. It literally has toasted almond, cardamom, cinnamon streusel, pastry cream, vanilla bean. It's coffee cake. And it literally has like that spongy texture of coffee cake, so it's not like a heavy, dense gourmand, but you get like the crumbly cinnamon sugar topping, and there's a sheer musk in the base, so I feel like that gives it a little bit of an airiness. It is fully giving warm coffee cake in the morning. There's also cafe au lait listed as a note. Personally, I don't smell any coffee. Like, this is front and center vanilla, cinnamon, toasty, warm, spicy, a little bit nutty, and it screams fall. Also, I feel like if you're a pumpkin spice kind of girl, this scent would resonate with you. It is a bit too literal gourmand for my taste, but it is good. So if you want it and you live in the US, let me know. Make sure you're subscribed, like the video, and I'll choose a winner in a week. And then last but not least, we have the new Acro Glow. I think this is beautiful. Makes, again, another great fall fragrance. This is a lovely, I think really beginner friendly ambery scent. It's actually benzoin that's listed, and that is a very likable, smooth, powdery, ever so slightly sweetened resinous note, and then we have the vanilla accompanying it. It's just really cozy. It has this warm blanket-like effect. There's also incense in here, but it's not like too loud or smoky. It's not a church-like incense. It's, again, softly sweetened. There's a bit of pink pepper in the mix. If you're familiar with the fragrance Welton London Secret Amber, this is very similar to something like that. It's not a complex fragrance, but it just hits the mark. It's not an in-your-face kind of scent. It's got this nice soft feel to it. And it doesn't lean any sort of direction, truly unisex. Really beautiful blend of incense, benzoin, and vanilla mainly. And that wraps up my reviews for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't already. If you want to see me in any more videos, I'd appreciate it so much. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!